56% for the past week and 44% for the past month, which is a fairly substantial increase. Now, 4,100 vehicles have been broken into so far in 2021 within our jurisdiction. And of that, we've had 446 firearms that have been stolen during the past year. These numbers are trending upward since the beginning of the year, as one, I think, would expect as we come out of COVID and people are more comfortable being out and about. Now, in the Central Division, as I mentioned, which encompasses everything within Uptown here, last week alone, we had 31 vehicles that were broken into, and of that, 17 firearms were taken. Now, most of these are either parking decks or surface lots for nightclubs or hotels. And unfortunately, these guns are not taken to be used as souvenirs or to be hung on people's walls. They are used to commit violent acts. Through the month of May, the department has made 302 arrests for felons being in possession of firearms. Now, during the same time, we have also arrested 40 juveniles for being in possession of firearms. As I mentioned before, the firearms that are taken from vehicles are not used to show off. They're used to commit violent crimes. Now, anyone who drives a car can be a victim of a larceny from auto. So firearms that are falling in to the wrong hands is really instrumental in helping us to prevent this from happening. Now, there are certain tips that all car owners can take. First off is simply do not bring your gun with you when you leave your residence and leave it in your car. But if you do, make sure you utilize a secure lockbox in your car for your valuables if you do not have any other option. Make sure you lock your car doors. Park in a well-lit area. Also, if you're leaving items in your car at your residence, utilizing surveillance cameras, doorbell cameras, those are great investigative tools. Consider installing or utilizing a car alarm, which will help scare off individuals who are looking to break in and take items from your car. And also, if you recognize any sort of suspicious activity, please immediately call 911. Now, we cannot do this as police. We cannot solve this by ourselves. We certainly need our community's input and assistance and help. And with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have.
Most of the time, are they breaking into the car, or the car's just open and they walk up, the doors open?
You know, great point. All the above. People are either they recognize that someone, maybe they are sitting up watching and observing someone, try to conceal a firearm inside the car and recognize that that car has a gun. But we are seeing a significant increase in not only larceny from autos, but also in guns being taken. Now, if we look at compared to 2020, we're up about 54% over the last month, and you would think, well, that's because a year ago everybody was at home and nobody was out and everything was closed. But if you even look at 2019 numbers, we are still up 31%, which is a significant increase. And I don't know if it's the fact that people are not remembering that when they leave home to leave their firearm at their residence, but we really need the community's help and assistance.
Has there been any sort of uptick in other violent crimes with more people out and about stealing things like guns from cars?
Yeah, I think, certainly as we focus today on the larceny from autos, particularly with firearms being taken, we have had an increase in our homicide rate, and these firearms usually end up being used to commit violent crimes.
So would it be fair to say that, the majority of these stolen guns are used for crimes that you end up having to deal with later on?
Yeah, certainly, these guns that are taken today, we're going to, real strong likelihood that we will see them later down the line as weapons used in violent crimes that are committed.
Are the owners normally aware of their own serial numbers, or do you guys have to trace it back through the paperwork from the gun shop?
You know, a lot of people are cognizant of their serial numbers for their firearms, so certainly utilizing your camera and taking a picture of your serial number for your firearm, so if it is taken, we will easily be able to trace that. However, I would encourage all gun owners to leave their guns at home.
Would you have any stats on how many crimes are committed with a stolen firearm? Or that you, in the past month, in the past whatever you may have?
You know, we don't really know whether a firearm is stolen until we recover that firearm. And, you know, knowing that, you know, really allude to the fact that more than 300 people, felons, have been arrested in the last year. In 2021 with firearms. I think that's a real good barometer for giving us some perspective in how many people have firearms that are out there.
Are these cars, you might have touched on this, are they locked? Are people breaking the windows? How are they getting into these cars, especially at these, you said, nightclubs and hotel parking lots?
Nightclubs, hotels, parking lots, surface lots, anywhere where there are a lot of cars parked. People who are intent on committing these crimes certainly recognize that there are a lot of cars in one particular spot, so they take that. They are utilizing all of the above, breaking windows, checking car doors, some you know, cars that have zip-up windows. They're using any way that they can to get in, Jeeps and things like that. So.
We've talked a lot in the past about youth and how their crime numbers have kind of gone up over the past year. Not sure if that's still the case for this year, but people always ask, where are these guns coming from? These kids are killing each other or shooting at each other with. Is this at least animal?
Yeah, I think that that's a very good, I think a very easy bridge to get from guns that we're seeing being taken from cars, significant increase, and then, you know, we have also an increase in reported violent crime. So you don't have to buy guns when you steal them from cars, so you don't need to have a gun license or go through the background checks that, you know, legal, lawful gun owners have to go through. And so I think it's a real easy way to acquire a deadly weapon by breaking into cars.
And I'm sure you've dealt with this in the past. Just from your experience, how have you seen gun ownership climb over the number of years, like percentage-wise? Is it double, triple now?
You know, I don't know specifically on gun ownership. I know the Sheriff's Department, they're responsible for issuing those gun permits. You know, from our perspective, from the law enforcement police perspective, you know, all we can go off is the number of times that it's reported stolen from either residence or car, and we are really seeing a very steep increase in firearms that are taken from vehicles.
Can I just clarify some numbers that you had said? You said that 446 guns were stolen during the past year. Is that 2021?
I'm sorry, yeah, for 2021. So from January to today's date, this year.
And you're comparing May to May, right? When you say, so this May, you said, just kind of bouncing off that, it was 44% in May, this May compared to 2020 May. Is that right, or June?
It's the 40% the last week,
Okay.
and for the month of May, it's up 56% compared to last year. But if you look at May of 2019, it's up 30%.
Are you guys able to send those numbers out just so we make sure we get it all clear?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because it is math and numbers, and
Same.
That's what you're like, oh, let's go check.
for sure,
the answer.
we'll make sure that we get that information to
Okay,
you.
thanks.
I guess maybe just one more thing. I mean, how, you're talking about this, it's kind of don't keep your guns in your car, but how much of this is a concern for you and your officers who are out there working the streets and everything too when it comes to dealing with people with stolen guns?
Oh, absolutely. I can attest to the fact, just in the Central Division, we have seen a significant increase in the number of people that are coming uptown for either entertainment, staying, dining, hospitality, and any time that we have guns that are taken, those guns can certainly be used later on, and there's a great chance that we'll encounter those firearms.
Do you know what type of guns? Are they looking for a specific type of gun, or is it just anything?
Any guns, any guns. Mostly are firearms, handguns. Any other questions? Well, thank you all very much. Anybody that has information on any individual who may be breaking into cars, taking firearms, we encourage them to anonymously contact Crime Stoppers at 704-334-1600. So with that, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Fishbach, or we're done.
Thank you, Captain. Just last thing, just to, as a reminder, all of our media partners, be checking your inbox. We are going to send out a wealth of statistics and numbers to y'all. And as always, if you have questions, follow-up questions, shoot it to that CMPD PIO inbox. And thank you for joining us.